any amount of time
Yeah.
without feeling like I need to Hi, welcome to Gotham Quilt's virtual launch party for Deborah Fisher's debut fabric collection, So Good. Welcome. My name is Andrea. I am one of the co-owners of Gotham Quilts with my partner Yvette, who is unable to join us this evening, unfortunately. She will be online, I believe, so she might be answering some questions throughout the evening. If you have any, you can post them online. Yeah, we're overjoyed to have you here this evening. Unfortunately, we couldn't do a live event for reasons, but at least we can do this virtual event and have you here and show off some of these beautiful fabrics and beautiful projects so that you guys can get a good look at these awesome fabrics. So Deborah, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and about your collection and some of your inspiration, things like that.
Sure. Thank you so much for having me here and for inviting me. I've always loved Gotham Quilts. I've taken classes here and I've seen both you and Yvette at different events that we've been to. Quilters Deep Manhattan years ago.
All the guild shows.
In Brooklyn and all different things. So it's really great to be here and actually have a fabric collection that you're carrying in the shop. So a lot of people know me actually for my ceramic pincushions.
Yes, which are awesome.
So, but interestingly, you know, because most people know me as more of a ceramics person, I really am a textile person. That's where my sensibilities are, and that's really my true love in materials is really textiles. So I was really excited to have the opportunity to design a fabric collection and one that celebrates sewing.
Yes.
Because that's just,
that's what we all love.
That's what we love. So I learned to sew and my mother taught me many years ago, just like many of us who learned to sew from family members. And so, so it's just really exciting to be able to sew with my own fabric. And so what should we start with?
Oh, that's a good question. Let's see, maybe we'll just start with this one.
So we are lucky enough to have Jen Strauser of Dizzy Quilter, who made this quilt for the collection, and she's been part of Gotham Quilts for
she was doing our long arm. She stopped doing long arm. Now she's our class coordinator. So she's been a part of since we were in the studio upstairs. She's been a part of Gotham.
And I've been very grateful to get to know her a little bit more lately. And so this pattern for Dizzy Quilt for rotation, the rotation quilt is available on
our website, right? That's on the Gotham website. So we have the pattern for sale. We also have a kit for this quilt with the exact same fabrics. One of the things you probably can't see on the camera, but I can see, is the quilting on this quilt. She quilted scissors. In the quilt stitching has scissors, which I just thought was brilliant. There is one of the fabrics, which I think you've got a bolt of the scissors right there. That's just scissors, and I myself am sort of a scissor freak, maybe you could say, aficionado. So I just love scissors. I have them all over my house, jewelry, all that good stuff. I love this fabric. I mean, there's been lots of scissor fabric, especially lately, but I don't know, there's something about this one with the different sizes and the colors, and it's a good scale. I can see myself using this for all kinds of things, but when I saw the quilting, it just made my day. Like, that's genius. I love it. Which I know is, you know, unfortunate you probably can't see that on the screen, but it's there. It's great.
It's a lot of fun.
This pattern uses, you will learn partial seams with this pattern. It does have 4 flying geese. I can't tell you exactly how it's put together. I haven't looked at it that closely, but that is something you would learn with this pattern. Other than that, it's not hard. It's a pretty basic pattern, but lots of fun. And as you can see, makes a really dynamic, good-looking quilt. This is another one. This one we put together, actually. I saw this pattern, I don't know when, but it's a great pattern. It's Cherry House, I think. I probably got that wrong. I should have looked that up beforehand. It's Oh So Happy is the name of the pattern. It is also on our website. And she had a different collection for the original sample, and it was kind of pastel-y and a little bit muted, which it was beautiful, but our style is a little brighter, a little bit, more graphic and bold. And I had been looking for a collection to use for this pattern for quite some time. And as soon as this came out, I knew that it was perfect. So we colored it in Deborah's fabrics, and I think it's just amazing. Our sample maker made this in record time so that we could have it tonight to show you. But it's just so fun. We've got, there's a little rotary cutter down here, a machine, some bolts of fabric, the spools of thread, buttons. So it's reflecting the things that are in the fabric again, which is really fun. And these bright, bold colors. I mean, I would love to have this in my sewing room or on my couch. So we have kits available for this in the exact same fabrics you see here. The pattern by itself is also available. So that's kind of what we were focusing on for this collection. But Deborah has a ton of other really great projects too.
So one of the fabrics, do we have one of the strawberries?
Oh, yeah, I just brought this.
We have one of the patterns of the fabric is strawberries, and because it just seems to be a
little pin cushions usually have a little strawberry on them. Yeah,
a sewing thing.
I knew what it was from.
So I wanted to make a strawberry quilt, and this is a small quilt. It's great for baby presents. The size takes into account the width of the fabric, so there's no piecing or anything.
Very smart.
And this is one big piece. This is right around the edge. There's bias tape applique, which I'm a big fan of. So if you have never done bias tape applique, it's a really great way to start because it's kind of one big gentle curve. This is raw edged applique, and then this is just one more piece of bias tape applique, and also a curved binding, which is fun. I felt like it really needed that.
Yeah. And I like the raw edge applique for the strawberry. It's starting to fray just a little bit, which kind of is like a strawberry.
So it's just a really fun kind of simple thing, and you can always whip one up for if you need a baby shower present or something like that.
And babies would love playing with the little raw edge.
And there is this is one of the other colorways of the strawberries that's on the back here. And this pattern is available in paper pattern and in PDF on my website, which is fishmuseumandcircus.com. So that pattern is available there. Also, this pattern here, this is called Trimmings Quilt, and it's rose. Oh, yes.
You should do strawberries. Do the strawberries.
I forgot that we have those here. And so this is almost entirely piecing. There's a tiny little bit of circle applique for these little kind of fussy cut strawberry circles. And this is kind of a take on things like, ball fringe and rickrack and stitching and things like that. Also in PDF and paper on the website. And then we have the other ones right around here.
Yes, and I can hold them for you if you like.
So this is
while you talk.
This is scissor lift, and you can see some of the other
That's
fabrics on the back. And this is, you can see some of the other colorways of the scissor print. These are actually my two favorite colorways.
I love the black has the screw for the scissor is pink, which I just love that little touch. It's not just the black and white, it's got that little bit of pink to give it some pop.
And what this is basically rectangular blocks, which are basically all the same, but some of them are flipped. So this is one block, and then this is one block, and
Oh, yeah,
then
there's a seam there. I didn't
Yep.
notice that. Okay.
so, when things are flipped, it's really simple because also you're cutting rectangles.
Mhm.
So for example, you're cutting a rectangle and then you're cutting it diagonally and you're using one side for one piece and then you'll use another side.
Oh, so
for
there's
the
no
others.
waste.
So there's no waste.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So it's all kind of just making sure that you have the mirror image of everything.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then these are corner squares that you flip and just become triangles. So this is a seam right over here.
Gotcha.
Also.
Yeah, which
So-
you can't even see. You can't even tell there's a seam there. Such good fabric.
Yeah, the thread fabric is really good for things like that.
Yes, and for those of us that always have thread everywhere, on our clothes, on our design walls, on our quilts, it works perfectly because it's
Yeah, and the blue
just
thread
blends right in.
fabric especially always makes me feel like there's actually thread on
It
it.
really
I
does
always
look
try to
like
figure
that.
it
Yeah,
out.
I like that.
And this one has the Fussy
Oh,
Cut
yes.
binding. Actually, the Trimmings Quilt did too, and so we're going to talk about that fabric in a little bit.
Yeah, I
because
can't wait to show you this binding
I'm
strip.
really
It's great.
excited by that. So this one is probably hard to see, but it has the little gray polka dot.
Little dots.
Okay, that one. And this one, of course, with a sewing theme, I had to make some buttons.
Yeah, this is a good one too.
So this is Button Parade. And it can really go any direction.
All right.
Either way, although I guess the pin cushions are upside down now, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So this is also a bias tape applique, and for each one, there's basically two different sizes. There's the small one and the big one, and then these circles are all applique. And I used Apple Pops, which is a really fantastic system of metal circles that helps you make
Perfect circular applique.
perfect. Yeah, and I don't know if I
Yeah.
really could
I
have done this
can't.
quilt because it was just, they were so fantastic. And I actually, with the pattern, also on my website, paper and PDF, Apple Pops has put together a set that just has the sizes that you need for this, but two of each, so you can quickly go back and forth, because what happens is that the metal heats up when you iron everything, and then you have to wait.
Vertical down.
So you can make them all really quickly, so that's all on the website too.
And each of these is done, so there's a block here, so you're
Yes.
not appliquing on one giant piece of fabric.
Exactly, this is all on point really, because the squares are like this, and then you've got
Yeah,
these for the edges.
yeah, which
triangles
must
for
be
the
a lot
edges.
easier than, yeah, because I can't imagine dealing with this,
No,
just
it
one
was-
big piece of
You
fabric.
applique everything, and then you have all the squares and the triangles for the edges, and you just sew it all together in diagonal rows.
And you can even do it by hand, if you know, if hand applique is one of your things, instead of doing doing it by machine, you could just do the whole thing by hand. It would be a nice little
Yes.
travel or couch project.
I definitely did that with the with the
Mhm.
circles
Yeah.
too, good for when you're waiting for carpool pickup and things like that. And this one is actually a free pattern on the website, and this one actually has the scallop
Oh, yes,
binding.
right, so you can see a different way to use that binding, and this one shows the black and white scalloped binding
Mhm.
also.
So this one, it's really simple. This is Circus Tense.
It's really fun too.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's basically a kind of a modified rail fence, but it has a lot of fun little details, like there are little rick-rack edges.
Yeah. different
That are
sizes
along
of
here.
that, and these felt flowers.
It's a tied quilt, which I'm a big fan of tied quilts, but of course you could always quilt
I
it if you
love,
wanted.
I love the different color ties. I think it's great, and it feels so cozy.
Yeah.
It's not as stiff as a machine quilted quilt.
And then, these are felt flowers. This is actually 3mm felt and then a 1mm felt on the
Yeah,
top.
it's a really nice felt.
And this is a free pattern, but I also sell, and we have those somewhere.
Oh, here it is.
That very crinkly bag. We'll have all the rickrack and the flowers and the centers that you need if you want to make the quilt in this version. Of course, you don't have to use any of those things.
Yeah, some cute little doodads that make it special though, so
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to go out and hunt for those yourself
Yes.
and buy, a bunch of different things.
Yep.
You get it all in the quantity you need here.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of kind of multimedia type things and different materials and textures. So this was really fun.
Yeah.
And some of the other projects that are here, these are chunky baskets from Sam Hunter and the Hunter's Design Studio. They come in all different sizes. So these are really a lot of fun for showcasing the fabric and for
so useful.
putting, yep, lots of things.
Use little buckets to store all. You could put your little threads and your
Mm-hmm.
garbage not garbage, but your scraps from
Yep.
your sewing machine while you're sewing. You can I've seen people put flower pots inside these.
That's a good idea.
So it looks better than your just average clay flower pot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I use them in my studio and in my packing and shipping area for different
Mm-hmm.
things, and they're really great. And then there's actually more than are here, but they got snatched up by other people in my house. So
Because they're so useful.
because they're so useful. This is a little doll
I love these
that
dolls.
has, she's got a little pocket, so she's really great for being like a toothfairy pillow or putting little notes. And this pattern is available on,
This one is this. Oh, no,
Nope,
that's the
nope,
pincushion.
that's the pincushion.
Oh, here's the dolls.
nope, that's the fairy.
Oh, sorry.
This is a boat wall.
I'll let you talk.
Boatwall.org, BOTWAL.org, and that is an international doll project that I have been a part of. So, and you can read about it all there. And this is a pattern that then the proceeds go to sewers in Haiti, where they sew these dolls, and they donate them to the children there, but they are paid for it. So
That's
it's kind of
wonderful.
your pattern purchase goes
Sort of
to help
sponsors
Sponsors
a doll for someone.
Yep.
That's
there.
great.
And supports the sewists in Haiti and quilters. They do a lot of quilting there, actually, a lot of wonderful art quilts. So this is the pincushion pattern. So these were based on, I should really go back and talk about the actual pincushion
Fabric?
fabric.
Yeah, starting at the beginning, that's one thing that Yvette usually keeps me on track there. And so without her, I'm just all over the place.
That's all right. We'll
So
like you
yes,
said, we
these
can do
beautiful, we've got the two pincushion fabrics right here, the navy one.
the navy. So the original pincushions that I made, ceramic pincushions, then became the theme, I guess, for these main prints. So these illustrations of these pincushions are based on my ceramic pincushions. So then I wanted to make a pincushion pattern that everybody could sew. So that's when where these came from. So I really like to do things in multiple medium, really. So they're ceramic and they're graphic and they're sewn. Yes.
Yeah.
So the pincushion pattern comes with the larger person. I just call them persons because they can be whatever you want them to be.
Sure.
And the little person, the bird, which is also featured on, where do we got the bird? Oh, they're kind of little, they're hard to see, but they're here. And then there's one of the pincushions, that actually holds one of them.
Oh, cute. I didn't know.
Yeah, there's like a lot of little
A little
things
strawberry hat on that
strawberry,
one.
because we also have a strawberry pincushion that you can make, and the bird, and then there is the round one, which is over here. And this one also has instructions for this little magnetic needle minder. So this is a covered button, but you can put a magnet inside.
Very
And then
smart. That's
becomes
genius.
a little. I'm big on magnetic needle minders, and you'll see that when we go over to the sewing fairs.
Yeah, you know, they've gotten quite popular lately. I have like half a dozen at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Well, while we're at the fabric, let's
Yes.
so the pin cushions comes in navy and the orange, which she showed just a second ago.
Yep.
And then also this eggplant, which is really cool too. So 3 colors of the pincushion fabric. Okay. So yeah, now for the fairy dolls, right?
Yes, I'm gonna move this because it's so crinkly.
Yeah.
It keeps making noise. So I really like to design 3-dimensional sewing things like, you know, dolls and stuff like that. So of course I had to make a sewing fairy, and they're just kind of silly, fun things for the sewing room. And she comes with a pocket. There's a flat pocket and a pocket that has more space in it.
Pleated pocket.
Yeah, like, I don't know, pleated pocket.
There you
I guess.
go.
Yeah.
Technical term. Pleated
Technical
pocket.
term, pleated. And then in the back, she's got kind of elastic that you can put things in. Originally, you know, the idea has the scissors, which almost are like the wings. So sewing fairy.
And she's got a little thread,
Yes.
needle and thread in her. Oh, that's a magnet.
It's a magnet. So
Another magnet. Genius.
you can put magnets, and the instructions are part of the
Love it.
are in there with the instructions. Yep, you can put a magnet in the end of their arms or even their legs, and then you have a needle minder. You can put whatever you want on there. And I'm a big fan of ball fringe and things.
Oh yeah.
So gotta have the ball fringe.
So cute. Yeah, she's got a little scissor and I think actually, but yeah, I love and these other some more little birds over here, another pincushion, strawberry.
Also I forgot about this this little banner.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, the tutorial for this is on my website, fishmuseumandscircus.com. So you can make any kind of banner that you want.
And this one uses the binding stripe as well, so you can see the scallop there on the not cord, but binding, I guess.
And we should talk about the blog hop.
Yes, definitely, because there's some great projects here too.
So Jen Strauser of Dizzy Quilter, who made this quilt, arranged a fantastic blog hop, which you can find the whole list of all of the stops on the blog hop on dizzyquilter.com and also on my website too.
And I think in all of the advertising we did and the emails we sent out to let you know about this event, there were links to the blog hop, so you can go and see all of the projects that people did there too.
So that was a lot of fun, and we do have some of the projects here, which is great. This sewing machine cover is by Amy Friend of During Quiet Time, and she used the Fussy Cut pin cushions.
And I love the fussy cut pin cushions, and I love this fussy cut, the binding stripe again. I love the way she did that, framed that person. And it's got the ties on the side, so it's really simple. It'll fit just about every machine. And just slides on like that, and boom, you keep the dust off. There's few times you're not using it.
And so then Sam Hunter of Hunter's Design Studio made these wonderful pillow covers in 2 different colorways, and she also used the stripe kind of in a different way.
The wider corners, it looks so good.
Yeah. So
I believe this pattern is called Turning Points. I believe
it could be, but it's on her website.
Yes, it would be on her website.
I'm not sure exactly.
And these are 3-dimensional.
Very
We've got these triangles in here. They're nice and fun. And then once this is stuffed, I bet they stick out even a little bit more.
Yes, I am. She was generous enough to send this to me, as was Amy. That was really sweet. And I am going to be getting the inserts for these so that I can put them on my couch.
Yes, along with some of these beautiful quilts.
So we should talk.
One more.
Right, one more. I forgot. So this was my.
You carried it all the way here. You have to show it.
All the way here. Yes. This was my contribution to the blog hunt. I have a studio that I'm fortunate enough to have a back door out onto our deck, but it has the tendency to just close all on its own. And I'm sure that there is like some mechanical thing that I could do, but instead, of course, I decided I needed a doorstop. So I took a brick and I basically made a quilted cover for the brick, and there's instructions for
it's got the rib rack and the ball fringe. It's great
for your quilted
for all your quilted brick needs.
For all your quilted brick needs, exactly. And I was just seeing. I was just downstairs and I saw that wonderful tulip pink new
webbing.
Webbing, thank you. And which that would have been great. So, but I know you have that.
Yes, yes. So that's on our website.
If you want to make your own quilted brick.
Yeah, and I think some of her colors would go well with these colors as well.
Yeah, she's got great colors. So, okay, so now we're going to talk about.
We haven't talked about it yet. This, I think, is probably my favorite. There's a lot here that I like, but this I love. When I realized what this was, I just got so excited. I'm going to let Deborah tell us about it, but I'm just going to gush.
So I am a big fan of Fussy Cut Bindings. There's actually a tutorial on my website on how to make a fussy cut binding with any other fabric. But I find that there's a lot of mental gymnastics that goes on, at least with me, because you have to cut it up, of course, in a certain way to make sure that everything lines up the way it's supposed to. And there's often a lot of waste because it will depend on how big the repeat in the pattern is.
There's hardly any waste, right?
There's no waste.
No waste.
There's
even
no
better.
waste. So what I did was I designed a stripe that is a fussy cut binding stripe. But you can use it, of course, as a regular stripe, any way that you want to.
Sure, and you've seen how it's used in some of these samples as well.
But if you cut along the straight line, so in this colorway, there are black lines. In this, they're kind of gold color. In this one, they're also black. So if you just cut, and you can cut with a rotary cutter, or you can cut with scissors, which is great
you have a line to cut on.
Because you have a line to cut on, and I have definitely done this in the carpool lines or the pickup lines through school where I've sat and waited and cut them. And then you end up with
This is just amazing.
So you end up with, something that's like this. And then, now this is a 2 1/4 inch until you wash it. So if you're a wash before you quilt person, it's going to be kind of a little bit different. If you're a wash after you quilt person, it's going to be a little different. So I'm a wash before.
Are you? I'm a wash after. Everybody's got their thing.
Everybody's got their thing. So it ends up with this. So then you're going to press it in half like you would normally do. And then you get to decide which side you want to use. So there's 3 different fabrics, but there's 6 different options. And
so this one has the dot. Because we've shown the scallop. Oh, you have it right
and
there.
I have a little sample.
Yeah, this one
to
shows
show you.
the blue with the yellow dot.
And so you're going to sew it like you would normally a binding. And then you're going to flip it. And you end up with the dots in a row on both sides, actually. So it's kind of nice because it's the same. And then, or on this side, or you can do the scallops. And so it just depends. And so you have like 6 different options. And it's really simple because you don't have to do
You
all
don't
of
even
that.
have to really measure. You can just start cutting and start sewing. I love engineered fabrics and designing something specific and really thinking about putting all that thought into this so that everyone else can have something so simple and so cool.
Yeah, it's really already been very popular, which I'm just so thrilled about because think it's so fun. Like I like the fun parts
Yeah.
of sewing, and this is just fun.
Yeah, because people, I mean, the binding is always the last thing. It's sort of an afterthought a lot of times. But this is, it just sort of, you know, livens up the whole quilt and really adds that extra special touch.
Yeah, I know some people don't like binding. I happen to like binding because I feel like it's like, I don't know.
It's like the frame.
It's the little love at the end.
Yeah.
So.
And plus you kind of need it. Like even if you don't like it, you still have to put something around the edge.
Yeah, and I have to say, I'm a hand binder. So I know.
I'm machine all the way.
I know Jen did this by machine. So it definitely works both ways. So she does a beautiful job with the machine binding, but I don't do such a good job, so that's why I tend to hand bind on back. So
yeah, that I think has to be my favorite. Although the pin cushions and the scissors are pretty high up there too. The pins, the thread, I mean, all of it it's just so usable and so good, and you know, buttons and strawberries, everything really. And yeah, the colors, I just think it's great. We didn't bring all of the bolts up, but we did bring some bundles to show you.
Do you want these over here?
Sure. So we do have the full collection bundle with all 24 prints. And then we put together some smaller bundles as well, because not everybody needs every color. But so we have sort of the neutral bundle, the gray bundle, with the blacks and whites and some beiges. We have the purple bundle with purple, pink, and green. Love the purple and green next to each other. And the multicolor bundle with the navy pincushion, the orange pincushion, and all of the other ones that weren't like a specific color, but look good all together. So we have all of these options available on the website. And then we also just put together some coordinating solids so that, you know, if you get the full collection and then you get some solids, you're good to go. You can start making some of the buttons. You can start on, most of these don't use solids. Well, this one, so you can get some solids for the background. And the colors that we put in this bundle are listed in on the product page. So if there's a particular one you're interested in, you can see which one it is, or I can tell you. Confetti Cotton's Iron, Confetti Cotton's Licorice, Tanzanite, Aegean. Oh, I forgot that one. I forget that one. This one is Mojito, that's Confetti Cotton's Dandelion, this is Snapdragon, that is Confetti Cotton's Hot Pink. What's the other green? Matcha. That's it. So the darker green is matcha. Wow, I'm impressed too.
Really impressed.
It helps to type it into all the product descriptions and, you know, do those things a bunch of times.
Remember my own fabric.
I don't know if I can. I'll forget about it by tomorrow, but for today, I know what they all are.
I love using solids with prints. I think it's really
yeah, it helps. Yeah, and you can see in this quilt, you know, the combination of the solids and the prints really make the prints pop a little bit more because your eye has a place to rest on those solids. Well, and you could use, you know, for these little pin cushions, because you'll need some things for faces and some accessories. You might need some solids for that, for your dolls. But other than that, I mean, these fabrics just go together so well. That and you know, the variety of color, it's really usable. It's really fun. And I think you guys can probably see why we got so excited when we saw this collection. I can't remember. I think Jen might have snuck me a preview before. Yeah, she sent me one. She's like, I think you have to see this. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, I need this. And I wrote to our sales rep and I was like, when is this coming out? Show me this now. And it hadn't been, like, nobody had seen it yet. Yeah. And the sales rep was like, okay, I'm not supposed to show you. Maybe I'm not supposed to say that. But she let me see it. And I was like, okay. And as soon as, you know, I started working on this right away, and I went, just got really excited about it. And we thought we were going to have it in February, but like most things, everything's delayed these days. So we were kind of just, you know, when is it coming? When is it coming? When is it coming? When is it coming? So that's why you had a little bit short notice for the launch party. We got the notice it was shipping, and then it was here the next day practically. So
yeah, we're lucky that Wyndham is right.
yes, in New
across the
Jersey,
river in
yeah.
New
So
Jersey,
we get those shipments pretty quickly. So we might be one of the first to have it. Actually, I'm not sure. But yeah, but we're very happy to have it, and we have quite a bit. We ordered pretty deep, so go right ahead, shop, but don't wait too long because I think a lot of other people will be shopping as well. We also have, we're going to do a giveaway. So thank you all for watching, and thank you for staying for the whole thing. I know sometimes it's busy. It's kind of dinner time. Everybody's got stuff to do. So we appreciate you joining us this evening. We are going to raffle off a full collection Fat Quarter Bundle, which is about a $95 retail value, so not bad for a giveaway. To enter, you should email us, which is the email address is us@gothamquilts.com, so us@gothamquilts.com. Send us an email with "So Good Fabric Giveaway" in the subject line. Tell us which is your favorite print. Do you love the pin cushions? Do you love the binding stripe? Do you love the scissors? I know we didn't show you big pieces of all of them, but you've got the pins, the thread, the buttons, the strawberries. Did we get them all? Is that it? I think I got them all.
Something like that.
I think that's it. And of course, lots of colorways. Or you can tell us your favorite color too. That's fine. Your favorite color, your favorite print. Just tell us what you love about this collection. Or if you love everything, that's okay too. Send those emails in by midnight tonight, and we will, I think we'll probably randomly select a winner. That's how we usually do it. And I don't know exactly when we'll notify you, but soon. Partially depends on how Yvette is feeling tomorrow. Hopefully she'll be better than she is today, and we'll get things back to normal. But yeah, I think that's that about. Do we have any questions? I totally forgot about the fact that this is live and people can ask questions.
What, they're not going to be editing?
I don't see any.
We're not, yeah, we don't get a chance to edit, so no questions. Okay, that's great.
Well, I don't see any questions, but I see a lot of compliments.
Okay, well that's
there are a lot of
good.
people saying that this is incredible for especially your debut.
Yes, it is.
That must be
Not
my
for
mother
that,
making a
but-
comment.
But yeah.
Great. Well, then I guess we did an okay job if we don't have too many questions. If you do, you can always send those questions to the same email address, us@GothamQuilts, and we would be happy to answer any questions that we can. But yeah, thank you, Deborah, for joining us this evening. Thank you for bringing all these amazing samples and for designing this amazing fabric.
Thank you so much for having me. This was one of my very first excursions
Out and about in the real world.
And this was, certainly a wonderful way to kind of start back into the world.
I know.
So.
We started talking as soon as I knew that this was coming out about possibly doing an event, and it was like maybe, and yeah, just not yet, but we'll be there soon. Hopefully, we can have people back in and have a big party and celebrate. But for tonight, we're celebrating virtually, and that'll have to be good enough for now.
Yes. And if you have any questions about the binding stripe or any of the other projects that you see here, you're also welcome to contact me as well through either my website or on my Instagram at Fish Museum.
Yes, tell us your website again.
fishmuseumandscircus.com. And you can actually see a lot of the projects from the blog hub and a lot of the other projects on my Instagram account, which is at Fish Museum.
And I think our Instagram, well, all of our everything is at Gotham Quilts. Disney Quilter, who ran the blog hub. I'm sure she's at Disney Quilter. Yes, I should probably know. As you can tell, I'm not a social media person. But yeah, I'm sure you'll be able to find her.
Yes.
Just look up Disney Quilter. Yes, we have to thank her. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here tonight either. But she put a lot into this as well. So Thank you. Thanks, Jen, if you're listening.
She's actually on a plane to Florida. So
Yeah, I wasn't sure if she was on the plane or she yeah.
So she's hopefully having a better time than you guys.
Let's hope. I think we are all probably having a better time. But she'll get better,
Yes.
and things will be good. So again, thank you all for watching. Thanks for joining us. I hope you've seen some things that you love as much as we do, and we'll see you again for the next Facebook Live or whatever live this is the next time.